Hi, everyone. Welcome, Brenda from Utah. We got Adrian from Missouri. And we have a first timer. Good morning from North Dakota. Is it Jenny? Anyone's first speaker sister Q&A today? I would love to hear it. We have Lauren Bean in Raleigh. Lauren is actually our Raleigh Mic Drop Club host. And so we have Mic Drop Club meetups this month in about 33 cities. So if you are not in Mic Drop Club yet, Kathy will drop the link in the chat and you can use your code MDWS25 to get 50% off your membership so you can meet all your speaker sisters in real life. Okay, so today is a very special speaker sister Q&A today. I have a good friend joining me who is the GOAT of online courses. And you might be thinking like, well, why do we need to talk about courses? Aren't we doing speaking? Well, let me tell you, courses and speaking are two ways to solve problems for other people through our lived experiences. And so this is a way that if you have created a keynote, then you can create a course. And so Amy has a really exciting boot camp coming up, but today we're going to talk about, should you start a course? What's the course landscape right now? And then she's going to help me answer some of y'all's questions. So without further ado, welcome, Amy, my twin today.
Yes, we are twinsies. Hello, my friend. Thank you for having me here. Hello, everybody. I'm so delighted.
Yeah. So, okay, first, maybe for most people are familiar with you. You were such a big part of how I started Mic Drop Workshop. But for those that aren't, maybe give them a little background about who you are and what you're doing with Course Confident.
Yes, I always say I'm an ex-corporate girl turned accidental entrepreneur. So about 16 years ago, I left my last corporate job. I worked for Tony Robbins as the director of content development. And I went out on my own, always knowing I wanted to create digital courses to teach online marketing. And in the beginning, it was very, very rocky. I had no idea what I was doing. My first launch, I made $267 and then cried for an entire week saying, I'm not cut out to do this. I can't teach online. I can't grow an audience. But luckily, I had a really supportive husband that kind of pushed me back out there. So my second course, things got a little bit better and then better. And finally, I was really crushing it with creating and selling digital courses. And the question came up, how are you doing that? Show us what you're doing. So over the years, I transitioned my business from teaching just online marketing strategies and social media to here is exactly how to create a digital course and launch a digital course from scratch. Even if you don't have a big audience, even if you don't have a topic yet that you know you want to create a course around, even if you're not any bit sure of how to even start this. So I've been doing this for many, many years. And I will totally agree with Jess that pairing stage with course is the perfect combination. Like we say, peanut butter and chocolate, it just goes together. So when I speak to people that want to be speaking on the stage or already speaking on the stage, it's such an easy transition to say, okay, let's talk about what your course might look like. So when you're not on stage, you're making money. And I know, Jess, you have a great story about COVID hit and you can't be on stage. Life happens and you still have a course to bring you money. So anyway, that's how it all came about.
It really is such a good point for when we think about speaking. I love speaking, but you are trading your presence for money.
Mhm.
And that can be great, but it can also be exhausting. And scalability means either increasing your fee or increasing your frequency. And frequency means that you're traveling on planes a lot, which I have done for years. So with an online course, you can be right here, right now, you can be sleeping and having your knowledge help people and get paid to do it. And one of the things that I also saw that I don't know if it was something that you said, but I pulled it from your Instagram. Your customers don't want your life's work. They want your Tuesday problem solved by Wednesday.
Yes,
And
exactly.
this is so spot on when it comes to speaking. It's like, that's why they're not paying you to go up there and tell them everything you know about motivation, creativity, or confidence. They're paying you to tell you, what do I need to know right now?
Right now.
So, for those of us who might be overwhelmed by the thought of creating a course, how do we simplify it? And how does Course Confident help us do that?
Yes. Okay. So I love that question. So those of you who now, does your audience know about Course Confident?
A little bit. We have some people, Elise, that's signed up. So some of us are already signed up, but why don't we give the rundown quickly and then,
Okay.
yeah, I'll help. Yeah.
So once a year, I do a boot camp, and it is my most favorite thing. And I'm live in the boot camp for 4 trainings. And essentially, I help you kickstart your digital course journey. Now, it's interesting. This boot camp is designed to help you decide if a course would be right for you. And then if it is, what to do to kickstart your journey. From choosing your topic, people come in with no topic or a few topics or one topic. I help you narrow it down to the topic, how to validate it to make sure people actually pay for it, how to price your course so you can do a little course math to see what's possible. And then in addition to that, what does it look like to create and launch a digital course? What is the framework of that? And during that training, I also help you grow your audience while you create your course. I think the two should go hand in hand. I'm a big proponent of growing an email list. So I teach that in the bootcamp as well. So it's a great community where it's a private community. It goes by really fast. It's about a week's worth of training. I do live Q&As, we do prizes, but more importantly, I just help you get a plan together. Confidence, clarity around a plan if you're going to create your course. So it's $47, cheapest thing I offer all year, and it's so much fun, and it starts next week. So with that, ask me your question again. I want to make sure I really nail it.
Yeah. So for someone who might be overwhelmed, even on the tech side, or how do I, am I qualified enough to create a course?
Oh, I love
You
this.
hear
Yeah.
so many hesitations.
Yes.
I want to hit that first, and then we have some other questions in the chat that I want to hit.
I was live yesterday with a big group of people considering creating a course. And I think the number one question came up was, but am I right? Am I right to create a course right now, considering where I am in my entrepreneurial journey? And so I want to kind of hit a few things. I will never say create a course if you're not right for it. So here's who creating a course is right for. Number one, we kind of touched on it already. If you are doing anything that takes your time and presence to make that money, and if, let's say, something were to happen and you needed to take a step back and you made zero money, a course is right for you. That way you can love your life on stage, get the money you deserve on stage, be selective, knowing I have another stream of revenue that I could use at any time to make money if I'm not on stage. So if that's you, yes, a course is for you, especially because you already have a topic we can play around with and build off of. So you're winning right there. If you feel as though, Amy, I don't have an audience, I'm just starting out, I wouldn't even know what to create, but you want to have an online presence, you want to make money online, using a digital course to start your entrepreneurial journey is perfect. And that's why everything I create, it's for someone either just starting out or you're a few years in and you want to build from there. And so, yes, you can start creating a course when you don't have an email list yet. You could do the same both at the same time. Yes, you can create a digital course even if you're just starting out. The beauty of a digital course is it puts you on the map. So I've been doing this for a while, but if you're in a room of entrepreneurs and people say, I really want to create a digital course, I need someone to help me do so, I can guarantee my name will be brought up in that room. That's not ego. That's many years of staying in my lane.
100%.
Right? So I have a course that I launch over and over again. That's another secret to course creation. It's a rinse and repeat. We're not going to create 10 different courses. One course that we're going to optimize and get really good at promoting over and over again. So we're not always reinventing the wheel. That's another thing. If you're here and you feel like you're always starting from scratch, I've got this offer, now I'm going to try this, and I'm going to try this. The secret to growing wealth is to stay in your lane and get really good at what you do, but also stop starting from scratch. And so if you have something that you can build off of, way better for your finances than always starting from scratch.
And if you're already doing the work to build a keynote, someone in here just asked, is it best to have a course created before booking speaking gigs? And I would say it's not an either or, but courses are something that is more controllable to launch. A speaking gig, you can do the work today and get booked in 6 months to a year. Amy, what's the timeline for maybe creating and launching a course?
So one thing I'm going to talk about in the bootcamp is the level of transformation that you want in your course, and I'll help you to decide that. But let's say you just want to get people, like you said, they have a Tuesday problem and we want to solve it by Thursday. That's not a huge transformation, but that's a big, fast result. People are looking for that. So a course like that, you could put together in a month. and you could get it out there and try it and get scrappy. What's working now in 2025 with digital courses is scrappiness. We're not putting our life's work into our courses. We are not making polished videos with a big film crew and a great background and lighting. Like this setup I have, this is 16 years in the making. I've got my students using their smartphones to create their courses. And so you can get this done very quickly, depending on the level of transformation. The bigger transformation might take you a little bit more time, but I kind of lay it all out in the bootcamp so you can make some decisions.
It's so funny when you say like this, how much time this took you. I don't know if anyone in the chat was a part of the first Mic Drop workshop in 2017.
Yeah.
I wish I saved that course because I thought that the value came from how long it was.
Yes.
It needs to have everything that it was 5th grade when I did my first speaking gig. And I'm like, no one gives a shit. They want to know, like, what do I need to do right now? But you touched on something that I really wanted to hit on today. And I think Jen asked this. What is the current landscape of online courses?
Yeah.
We're hearing a lot of different things. We're in the age of AI where people have all this access to direct information. We at Mic Drop are now, we have a teaching assistant in our course named Mike, where you can take the course or you can also just ask the TA because it has all of the information that the course has. So we're also making these adjustments. But what are you seeing as like the current landscape of online courses in the age of AI and the age of people's attention spans and all the things?
Is Mike an AI tool?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yep.
Great.
Yep.
That's
Mike
so
is an
funny
AI
that
tool.
you named it Mike. Is there a reason?
I know. Okay, so Mike for Mic Drop workshop.
Oh, okay, got it. I was like, why is it a man?
So that's what everyone says, and maybe we need to do a rebrand. My thought behind it, my AirPod just fell out. My thought behind it was all of the assistants out there are women. You have like Siri, you have Alexa.
Yes.
And I'm like, why don't we have more assistants that are men? Like we should have men. Yeah. And so for me, it was more of like a feminist subtle aggression, but yeah.
Just tell everyone that because that's how it should be. That's so good. I'm going to have to tell that story to other people. Okay. So digital courses are evolving. They're alive and well. The trajectory of all the stats of e-learning continuing to go up, not flat, not down, continuing to go up. So courses are selling, they're working, and they're still needed in the world. But I've been doing this for so long that I know in 2025 and beyond, they are evolving. So you're right. AI has changed how we build and deliver them. But here's what AI will never, ever be able to do. Give a POV, a point of view. And a point of view is made up of your lived experiences, your stories, your skill set and knowledge, and how you actually got to have that knowledge, meaning all the mistakes you've made, all the wins you've had. So AI is definitely a big part of this, and we'll talk about that, but it will never replace your point of view. So get louder. This is so perfect for your audience. What is the hill you would die on? So for me, the hill I would die on is more women need to become millionaires because we steward money differently. Yes. We're more generous with more money. We're more thoughtful. So the more money we have, the better. I know this is lofty. The world is, in my opinion. So I'm going to die on that hill and I'm going to teach women how to make money over and over again till the day I die. So what is your die on the hill moment that you'll keep shouting out again and again? And so information does not equal transformation. People aren't buying information anymore. We've got enough of that. ChatGPT just replaced all of it. But we are buying transformation. And the way transformation happens is implementation, accountability, and support. So when you lead with your course offer, we're now leading with, here's how I'm going to get you to implement to transform. Here's how I'm going to support you along the way. And here's how I'm going to keep you accountable because ChatGPT never can do that. My son, he's 23 and he wants to run a 4-minute mile. And he went on to ChatGPT, got his whole plan. He's so proud of himself. He's like, Mom, I've got this plan. This is how I'm going to run it. It's like a 60-day plan. About 15 days into it, he's like, Mom, I'm not really doing that now. He has his first engineering job, so he's a busy man now. It's totally fallen to the wayside. Implementation, accountability, and support, that is what we're offering in the package of our knowledge. And that is what is working. So everyone here can offer that. And when I say support, I don't mean 24/7. Mike is going to offer the support for you. Mine is called Porter. So Porter is offering
Oh,
that
I
as well.
love it.
So anyway, and Porter does sound like a man. So now I'm even loving it more.
Yeah, maybe like we should start that movement of like AI assistants being men. Enough of the Alexas, enough of the Siris.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're on to something. This is so cool.
A couple logistical questions, but I also want to hit too. I think that human experience is becoming more valuable in the age of AI
Yeah.
because people are like, of course, like you said, you can get access to all kinds of information, but I think that people cannot replicate these stories and I got let go from my first job or these are 5 things I tried and but someone did ask because of this and I'm trying to look for this question. um okay, here we go. Do you suggest that your courses are only digital or should it be some of you in there? Should you have kind of a community like we have at Speaker Sisters? How much should you touch it personally?
Okay, so this is another evolving aspect of courses. So years past, you could get away with we call it independent study. So buy my course; it's all the information you need, step by step, and you're good. That doesn't fly anymore if you want to rise to the top in your industry. So yes, I believe you should add a level of support, human touch inside your course, even if your course is going to be automated. Meaning, I teach my students either to live launch or to automate, and you can pre-record everything and it runs while you're sleeping. Both of them are great. I think everyone should have both. So anyway, regardless if it's automated or live, the delivery of your course should have a live aspect. But here, let me give you some examples. Facebook group, a circle group, membership.io now has a community. So these are platforms that you can have a private community of paying students. It doesn't have to be forever. Mine is 8 weeks. When people buy my big course, you got 8 weeks in a private community. I show up once a week and do live Q&As. My team is in there answering questions and engaging. It's a great experience. So it's all about support and accountability. You could also do Slack channel. I have a group of 30 women. We're in a Slack channel. I'm in there daily for about 30 minutes. I put it on my calendar and we just make sure that people are supported. Or you could do Voxer. So they can Vox you and then you can say within 24 hours, I'll get back to you. So you've got that human touch. Office hours on Zoom. I have an evergreen program, meaning it's automated. You can buy it any time of day. But once a month, if you're in that program, I show up live on a Zoom call for you. So you know for 12 months, you get me once a month, 1 hour, easy. So these are different things that you just want to make sure you load up the front of your offer though. So if you get into my boot camp, I'll talk about this, but when you promote your course, we're going to lead with the support, implementation, and the accountability.
Mm-hmm. And something else that you help with that I love is like all of your proximity to your course and how much access they get to you influences the price. So
Yes.
if you are in there, if you have access to Voxer you or send Amy a message and she gets back to you, that's going to be more expensive than a course that's just maybe a little bit hands off. And
Yes.
some of the ways that I want you all to be thinking about how to use courses with your speaking. In Mic Drop Workshop, you all have a module around how to collect emails from the stage. And there's a QR code that you put right before your last lesson. And it gives them a survey, it hands them the slides, but you also get that email. And so, in the first email that I send after I speak, is the link to their freebie, which is the PDF of the slides, super simple. And then, oh, by the way, if you're interested in becoming a speaker, here's our next course. So you all have the opportunity you don't have to quote sell from the stage because I think a lot of people get a little squirmy about that. And rightfully so. I'm not someone who, if I'm getting paid to speak, I'm not going to be selling from the stage.
Same.
But if they are interested in what I'm doing, they've given me their email, then that's a green light to be able to send them some of those opportunities. So a couple questions that we have, Amy, about the logistics of Course Confident. If they can't attend live, Cindy, I'm interested in, but I am traveling. Can I register, watch the replays? Can you just give some of the logistics around that?
Yes. So we start on September 11th. That's training number 1. And all of my trainings are recorded. So you'll have until September 24th to actually get all of my trainings and watch them. The reason we put a deadline on, and this is a little marketing strategy for all of you as well, if you do anything like creating courses or launching, is that we need to create that urgency so that you have the accountability. So I'm going to keep you accountable and say, if you miss one of my live trainings, no problem, I have it recorded, but this is your deadline to watch it. Because I know if you watch it, you'll get results. So you have until September 24th to watch all of my recordings. And those of you who sign up, you'll notice you'll get an offer to become a Viper, a VIPer. So if you're a Viper, then we do live Q&As, 6 live Q&As. All of those are recorded, but as a Viper, you get 6 months to go back to all my Q&As. You can load them up into ChatGPT, get summaries, get some, have GPT give you an outline of what I'm teaching in my live Q&As. So it can be really valuable. So as a Viper, for $30 more, you can actually get live access to me, Q&A. You can send your questions in advance if you can't be there live. So that's how it works.
We have a lot of people that have signed up. We have a Viper in the chat. I love it. Darmi, I want to touch on this question, and then maybe Amy can touch on how we can use this in course creation. So in Mic Drop Workshop, you create a transformation promise, a speaker statement, and a mission statement. These are your 3 tools.
Okay.
So a mission statement is your entire brand, whether you're doing speaking, courses, trainings. A speaker statement is how you talk about what you speak on. So Darmi, I know your confusion is between speaker statement and transformation promise. Speaker statement is what you'll use externally. Transformation promise is what you use internally to create your talk. So a transformation promise is after people hear me speak, they will blank because my talk will blank. Whereas a speaker statement is, hi, my name's Darmi. I help audiences blank. And that's what goes on your website.
That's good.
But Amy, how can someone who maybe is already working on some of these 3 tools, my mission statement, my speaker statement, my transformation promise, transfer that into course creation?
I want every one of your students in that program to come into this boot camp because you're already winning. Like this, so good.
You already have that focus.
Yeah. So inside of the boot camp, we're going to talk about your transformation statement, which is exactly what Jess says. It's behind the scenes. You go through my course. You have this problem and I solve this problem. That's essentially your Jess said it way better, but that's essentially your transformation statement for your digital course. So imagine if you came into Course Confident already working on your mission statement, your transformation statement, and your speaker statement. Is that the third one?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Imagine if you already have been working on those, whether you've nailed them or still in the process. Now we're looking at a course. You're pulling from this. You're not starting from scratch, which you all know I think slows down an entrepreneur. So you're not starting from scratch. So you're going to pull from some of the work you've already done into figuring out what your course is going to be about. And I want to add one more thing. A lot of questions I get, Jess, when I'm talking about stage, speaking on stage and courses, some people will say, should my course be my keynote? It can be for anyone who can't actually afford you on stage. It could be, you need to kind of break it up and it's going to be a little bit different, but it can be the exact topic for sure. Or it could be the extension of what you do on stage. So I know Jess and I have talked about this before, but if someone hires you to speak, you could sell a package where you license your course to everyone in the room that they get that after you are up on stage. So there's a way to do that. Or it becomes in the front end and it's a way to get you actually more speaking gigs. So the course can be in the beginning, at the end. It could be totally separate than what you do on stage. You've got so many options and we can talk about it in the boot camp.
Such a good point that I forgot to hit on. Your course can be a negotiation tool for your speaking.
I remember you said that last year and I'm like, tell them more about that. I thought that was fascinating.
So for example, let's say you quote your rate of $15K to speak and they're like, oh, that's a lot of our budget. Can you go down to 10 to 13? Well, how many attendees do you have? We have 100. What if I gave them 100 spots in Mic Drop Workshop or in, Catherine Robinette's course? That way they have continued learning afterwards. Because I'll say one of the things that event planners sometimes are asking for is like, speaking is very like a shooting star. You're there and then you're gone, which is honestly why I love it, because I'm like, I'm going to go do my thing and then I'm going to go back on the plane to my family.
Yes.
But they're looking for ways like, how do you keep the motivation that they had when they saw you on stage going afterwards. And so it's really, you can position it this way. It's really important to me that the people in the audience still have regular access to check-ins, to information. So I've created a 6-month step-by-step course after they speak, or after I speak.
So good.
They love it.
Yeah.
So like Amy was saying, this could either be a way to push it over the line, because one of the things I love about digital courses as well is like, I don't have a fulfillment center. I'm not shipping anything. This is my knowledge that I'm sharing. And so it's just changing the quantity and hitting send. Not to say that it's not valuable, but there's no overhead or like cost of goods with it, which I came from a business that had that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm never going back. So you can use it as a bundle. You can use it as a negotiation freebie. Or like we were talking about, you can collect emails from the stage and sell it after. But it is a great way to keep the knowledge going and also make the event planner. I love this. I love the idea of extension for a course. And then we had Catherine say, Mic Drop Workshop and Digital Course Academy are so complementary.
Oh, I love that.
My mission is my big umbrella. My courses, speaking topics all fit under there. Let's see. Sarah asked, and we kind of touched on this, but maybe you can give a little bit more. Are people still craving digital courses? I know it was all the rage with COVID, but I sense people are desiring IRL connection. Any insight on trends?
So yeah, so that's one of the reasons why I've seen this shift in courses. So to answer your question, absolutely. I am surrounded by course creators, all my students, and they are doing active launches this year. One of my students just did her first launch, $250,000, her very first launch. Now, if you make $10,000 your first launch, I'm celebrating. I feel like that's huge.
100%.
But she just like kind of hit it out of the park. But another one of my students, she had 70 people on her email list. I teach my students how to pre-sell their course before they even create it. And she made $7,500 before she even created her course. And to think that you could sell a course this year and deliver it in January is kind of a cool feeling to know you can maybe hit your revenue goals this year and kickstart it in the new year. So there's a lot of opportunity here. So courses are absolutely still working. However, it's not just about the information anymore. That's why I want to see the human touch. I had a friend yesterday that was on a live with me, and she said that the beautiful thing about courses is that we get to walk alongside them now, where it's not so independent and we get to be a part of their experience. The in real life, as you mentioned, that could happen still online, but having that presence is so important. And I wouldn't create a course without it. But here's the thing, courses, memberships, group coaching programs. Those are the core things that people sell online, you and me, when we have information that we're teaching other people. That's never going away, but it will look different. And that's why you've got Mike, I've got Porter. We're gonna dance alongside AI, but we're gonna show up where other people won't. So in my program, you'll see me live in the boot camp every single day. My competitors aren't willing to do that. And it's a short period of time. It's not like I'm live every day, 365 days a week. I go in, I go out. Just like Jess said, I show up, I'm a shooting star, and I'm out. Courses can be in and out like that as well.
Yeah. And I want to end, we have a couple minutes left, but I want to end on this question because this is one we get a lot in Mic Drop, and it's the same kind of fear that some people can have in speaking. What if we have no audience yet? Who will buy our course if we don't feel like no one's even responding to our Instagram posts?
Right. Okay. I love this question because I can't sugarcoat it. You have to have an audience to sell online, whatever you're selling, right? So this is a great question. You know that you have to have an audience. So what I teach in the bootcamp is how to kickstart your email list. If you feel like you're posting on social and no one's paying attention, our messaging is off. So something's off with that. And I'll talk about that in the bootcamp. I also will talk about how to choose the right free guide, checklist, cheat sheet, a lead magnet that will be aligned with what eventually you will sell. So you're attracting the right people into your world. So yeah, there's no way around it. You've got to grow your audience. But if you're like, I don't know if I want to go to the bootcamp because I don't have an audience yet, I teach how to grow your audience while you create your course. I think the two should go hand in hand. So I hope you take me up on the bootcamp offer because we will absolutely address this. You got to start somewhere because what I don't want is next year you jump on with us and say, but I don't have an audience. So let's just kickstart it now.
And even if you join Course Confident just to get the foundations of your email list, because
Yeah.
that's not something that we hit in Mic Drop Workshop, that's a huge win. Huge
Agree.
win.
$47 to figure out how to kickstart your email list. Yes, please.
I mean, totally. It's something that it's like, woulda, coulda, shoulda. I feel like I wish I had started it way longer before than I did. So
Yeah.
if you're thinking that as well, or if you think of a podcast coming out or a book, create your audience before you need it. And so Amy can help you do that along with creating a course. Kathy will put the link in the chat one more time. She just did. This is a tried and true boot camp. We partnered with Amy last year. You see in the chat how many people got so much out of it. And so, Amy, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for helping answer questions. And when you join Course Confident, say in the Facebook group or whatever you're using that you came from Mic Drop, so you can find
Yes.
your speaker sisters in there.
I love that. You should tell everyone to use a hashtag for you so they can find each other.
Oh yeah, do hashtag speaker sister in the group so
I
you can
love
find
that.
who's creating a course and speaking at the same time. I
Yes.
love it.
All
Amy,
right.
thank you so much. Bye, ladies. Have a good day.